As part of We the People, celebrating 250 years, here's This Day in History.
The countdown continues to America's 250th birthday, so we are sharing our We the People series, people, places, and things of the past that have shaped our country into what it is today, and we are talking music today, Charlie.
We are on this day, April 29th, 1899. Composer and jazz musician Edward Kennedy Ellington, better known as Duke, was born. Ellington was born in Washington, D.C. and started performing at the age of 17. That career would last more than 50 years, with him leading multiple bands and growing them to the size of orchestras. In total, Ellington appeared in more than 20,000 performances around the world. One of those was right here in Madison, while holding residency at UW-Madison for 5 days. Ellington and his orchestra performed the first concert in Camp Randall Stadium history on July 18, 1972. He performed in front of a crowd of 6,000, with tickets costing just $1. While the performance was small, it helped establish Camp Randall to host bigger and future headlines. Ellington passed away on May 24, 1974. To this day, he is widely considered one of the greatest jazz legends in history. And that is This Day in History for April 29th.
Yeah, I don't know much about jazz music, but I know the name Duke Ellington, and I know he's a legend when it comes to that genre.
And now I know he had the first concert at Camp Randall.
Bit of trivia right there. Kind of cool.